It's actually about 2 years ago when we started it. The briefing we got in 2007 in October. We knew World Cup's going to happen in South Africa in 2010, so we knew where to go. Every time when we design something for a World Cup or a Euro, we travel there, we try to get an understanding of the country itself, of the people, of what's expected from Adidas. And so a couple of weeks later, I took 3 designers. We flew to South Africa and we visited the countries and the cities, Johannesburg, Cape Town and Durban, the key cities there. And we started to sketch there, we started to take pictures, we started to talk to people. We got a lot of insights from the individual members there of the Adidas team that are located in Africa. We also talked to football players, and so we started slightly to get an understanding of what needs to be done for that ball. When we went there, like I said, the immediate reaction we had was that there was so much going on there. There's so many different design styles you see. There's so many different architectural styles you see there. You have 11 different tribes, you have 11 different languages. So we knew something's going to happen to unite it all together. And then we asked the people down there, like, how do you see it yourself? Like, how is it coming all together? And they said the mantra down there is diversity and unity. So we took that as an inspiration for our design, and everything that we are doing, we're trying to create a holistic design within our ball. And then on the other hand, we also try to have a lot of different little individual graphics, which you can see here as a detail which you see then later when you have the ball in your hand and you realize that. And what you can see is a pattern that actually was created by Jabulani Wade from 180, and he created 11 different interrupted lines in 11 different colors. And that was then the bonding element within our visual language that you will find not only on the ball but also on footwear, as well as on apparel pieces, on our communication elements everywhere. If you take a look at the details of the ball, we've taken a look at the biggest stadium in Johannesburg, Soccer City it's called, and there are some elements on the surface, on the roof of the stadium, which we've tried to implement here as well. It actually is a design detail that you find on many typical South African dishes, as well as some other details in their masks. In all their culture, you find those details, and that's what we've seen on the stadiums, as well as here you find it on the ball again. I think there's no other product within the Adidas world of design that requires so much attention to many different aspects. On one hand, the predecessor is always your biggest problem, because the predecessor always wasn't a success. It was a strong ball, the World Cup ball for 06, and we knew we need to top it. The expectations are very high, so we needed to find another iconic shape, which we found within the rounded off triangle. We needed to find a color combination that speaks South Africa, as well as it stands for a great color selection which is accepted worldwide. And on the other hand, all those design details and the design that we finally create needs to then be later on approved by our marketing side that needs to sell it, obviously, and needs to stand for it, as well as the highest representatives within our brand. Even the CEO of Adidas wanted to have a say in that ball, as well as all the partners from the FIFA and obviously also the players, the different teams. Everyone wants to have a say in that and should have a say in that, because later on it needs to satisfy so many different minds, actually. Actually, it's a little bit of a difficult circumstance, because we only can have feedback from players and from trainers and coaches towards the end of the design phase. Yeah. So we created a ball, we got first samples. Normally we review them internally. Like I said in our presentation before, we sometimes roll them on the surface or on the carpet within our design studio. We try to get a first impression of, is it going in the right direction? And then the second or third sample, when we did a lot of improvements, then we go outside, we meet players, we meet teams, and then we get their feedback. And like I've seen before, Lampard gave us feedback, then the goalie Peter Cech gave us some feedback, and then we take that feedback into consideration and try to slightly improve until we, I would say, 1.5 years later, after the design was initiated, we get the final design done. I can't tell. I'm not a big football player myself, but I think the goalkeepers will like it even more, because what we've tried to do with the micro texture on the surface is to break the water film under wet conditions, so the grip of the ball is much better, it's much more improved compared to previous balls. On the other hand, we added some macro grooves, which we call aero grooves, so the wind slipstream can break easily, and so the ball hardly will wobble in the air, probably not at all, and so it's very predictable for the goalies how the ball will approach them.